What's up, YouTube? Welcome to Becoming Rob. Today we're going to talk about Gen Z and their prospects for retirement. How much will they really need when it's time for them to retire? And I'm going to give you an easy way to estimate how much you need in your nest egg when you retire. Stick around on Becoming Rob.
Let's go.
Okay, thank you for sticking around. We're going to get right into it. I want you to remember to like this stream. Go ahead and subscribe. Remember, I'm coming live to you every morning, Monday through Friday, 5:30 a.m. on the West Coast. I come live because I don't have time. Not a lot of time to work and do all the things that go sometimes into a channel. So I appreciate you for rocking with me. Um, I'm just a dad here down in my basement, um, here to talk to you. Okay, so we're going to be talking about Gen Z and how much they need to retire. It's a great article from Yahoo News. Shout out to Yahoo News. We're going to talk about this article. We'll read it a little bit and then we will comment on it. And then toward after that, I'll show you exactly how you can estimate how much you're going to need during your retirement, and then this will give you just a rough idea of how much you need to save. It's going to set you on a course for your saving and investing when you retire. Remember, I'm not a financial analyst. I'm just a systems engineer. So this is going to be a good tool to use, give you an idea. But as always, go back and talk to your financial professional. Call someone, talk to someone. They can also help you uh, get a good idea of how much you need for retirement, and they'll make sure that you're on the right track. Okay, let's bring up the article from Yahoo, and we will read a little bit of it. Excuse me, and then uh, we'll comment on it. Okay, this one says thanks to inflation, Gen Z and millennials will now need $3 million in retirement savings to live comfortably. Okay, let's get into it. It has long been a rule of thumb to have 1 million saved for a comfortable retirement, but thanks to inflation, the youngest generation of workers likely will need three times as much. Okay, I have never heard that rule of thumb of needing $1 million. I said this in um, a previous broadcast. Retirement is not an age; it is a number. So at least they're giving you a number here. They're giving you $1 million, but I have never heard this rule of thumb of $1 million. I think just we as Westerners, as Americans, we kind of think in base 10 numbers, and we know probably 100,000 isn't enough, and so the next base 10 number is 1 million. It just kind of sounds nice to say, like Dr. Evil and Austin Powers, $1 billion, right? So I don't know if that's a long time rule of thumb, but whatever, $1 million. But this author, this is Gabrielle Olia, is saying that you're going to need three times that much, maybe $3 million. It says, according to a recent analysis conducted by WellCare Financial, by the time Gen Z and millennials retire, they will need around 120,000 to 150,000 per year to live comfortably, making 3 million the average amount they need to retire. Okay, I think I have some idea of how they got from 150,000 to, or it's anywhere from 120 to 150,000, and how they calculated that to be 3 million in your savings and investments. And we'll talk about that a little later. Here's a look at the role inflation is playing in retirement. Okay, we all, if you're in your adult years and you're working, you understand that inflation is happening and prices are going up. You're looking at the price of groceries, looking at the price of gas, things are going up. Of course, that is eating away at all of our retirement. That is eating away at all of our savings. And so we have to invest and use our money wisely in preparation for inflation. It's just part of what it is, part of the government we have, part of the economic system we have. We can complain about it, and surely there will be shows and broadcasts to complain about it. But today we're trying to prepare for it. Prices are going to go up, so we have to prepare for it. Here's a look at the role inflation is playing in retirement savings needs, whether or not this generation is on track to reach their saving goals, and what this generation can do to catch up if they're currently behind. Okay, we'll read a little bit more. Inflation is making it more expensive to retire. The cost of living has risen sharply over the past couple of years, with home and rent prices as well as the cost of groceries, gas, and other essentials. All of these things are skyrocketing. Things will be even more expensive by the time younger generations retire. That's why WellCare financial experts believe Gen Z and millennials should aim to save $3 million for retirement. Inflation plays a big role when we are planning for retirement, especially for the younger generations, because the price of necessities will go up over the course of their lifetime, says Sean Tarzi, managing partner at WellCare Financial. However, Tarsi notes that not everyone will need $3 million to retire. That figure assumes that you need $150,000 per year for a 20-year retirement. $3 million is the upper end. Now look at that. This is Tarzi talking. He's saying $3 million is the upper end. Yahoo finance writer opened up the article saying $3 million is going to be the average of what people need. So we see a little bit of a contradiction there, but you get the point. $3 million is the upper end of the range that will be needed depending on current income, he says. So Gen Z and millennials should use this as a goal, but not necessarily the amount they absolutely have to save for retirement. Let me bring myself back up here. And that's really the idea. Thank you to Tarzi for being honest. Truly, everybody's number in retirement is going to be different because we live different lifestyles. There's different things we want to do in retirement. There's different things, just different ways of living. And so different ways of living are going to cost, have different levels of cost. Okay. So what I want to do and what we'll do going forward is give you an idea of how you can estimate what you will need in savings and investments to retire. And all of this is going to be based on what you think how you want to live during retirement. How do you think that you want to live during retirement? I said in the previous video, you have to think about the end. You have to think about what your future is going to be. Where do you want to do a year from now? What do you want to do 5 years from now? What do you want to do 10 years from now? How do you want to live in retirement? Okay, so if you can think about these things, you can start to plan for them. You can set the course. Asking yourself now, what's important for me to retire? How do I want to live? What do I want my atmosphere to look like? If I can get an idea, a clear picture of that, then I can set my life today on the course for how I want it to look tomorrow. Okay, so this is what we have to think about. And I do this channel because I love young men. And I think that especially here we are, we're talking about Gen Z. I love young men because I want young men to be leaders. Maybe I'm doing it for selfish purposes because I have 2 daughters. And so it would be insane if one day this channel influenced the young man that would lead one of my daughters. We need more young men who think about the future, who are laying a plan, who are laying a strategy for stability and success in the future. And one of the ways you can do that is to think about how you want to retire and how much is that going to cost? What is your number? Okay, so I'm going to show you a really simple way to try to figure out what your number is. Okay, it's a very simple calculation. I'm going to actually bring it up here on the screen and we'll walk through it together. And then I want you to either get a pencil and paper or get your spreadsheet out, Excel or whatever it is you use for spreadsheets, and then follow along with this example. And then you will have an idea. You will be able to estimate what are you going to need in your investment portfolio, your nest egg, to have a comfortable retirement. Okay, this is just an estimate. As you get this estimate in the ballpark, then you can start to really hammer out the details, and you can really nail it down. Right, we're still talking about so many years into the future, and so it's very hard to tell exactly how much money. But if you think about it now, you can kind of think, well, what is inflation going to look like? What do I want my life to be like? Do I want to live in a house? Do I want to live in a condo? Do I want to live in an apartment? I want to live in the city. I want to live in the country. Do I want to, how much is that going to cost? Do I want to rent? Do I want to have my house paid off? What these are the questions you have to ask yourself, and then you can come up with a number for retirement. So let me bring up the spreadsheet, and then we will walk through it together. All right, there's the spreadsheet here. Let me move over a little bit. Okay, so these are the kind of questions that we have to ask one another. I'm going to drop it in right here, right now. Okay, so one of the largest expenses, and again, I'm not a financial advisor. After we do this, you are going to go and find a financial professional and talk it out with them. Um, let them know what you're thinking, and they are going to help you. Right? There's so many. You could just call them up on the phone. Fidelity, AIG. Um, I have Edward Jones. There's tons of them. Okay, just type in IRA into your search on online, and then watch all the options that come up. Okay, so um, how do we want to live? All right, do we want to own our home, or do you want to own a home, or are you fine paying rent for the rest of your life? Nothing wrong with either one of those options. Okay, so many people in previous years have really strived to own a home, and that's been a large chunk of their net worth. And maybe one day we'll do a net worth calculation as well. However, what's it going to cost? And then if you own a home, are you okay with still having a mortgage um, in your list of expenses? Okay, so let's just say that uh, there is a living expense. Usually that's going to be your largest expense, your living expense. We're going to put one in here today, but maybe you're thinking, I don't want I don't want that living expense. I want to have a paid off home. But maybe some of you are thinking, man, I'm okay with renting. I'm gonna just do it and find me a nice place. No problem. Okay. So we're gonna call it rent. And let's say that rent is we're gonna say $3,000. Okay. You might be thinking that's high, but that's fine. Actually, you want to overestimate all of these values because of inflation. And then because this is a conservative look at it, right? You want to overestimate. So what if maybe this thing comes in and says, maybe this calculation says you need $5 million, and you go, what? And then you can come back and fine tune it. But remember, this is just to put us in the ballpark for what we're going to need. Okay. So you have rent at $3,000. Man, what else do we need to live? Or your transportation, your car. Do you want to have a paid off car? See, these are the questions you need to ask yourself. Do I want to have a paid off car in retirement, or am I content with having a car payment, whether that be pay to own or a lease payment? Some people like the convenience or the security of having a lease. They lease for a few years, they turn it in, and they lease the next car for a few years, and they have budgeted a lease payment for the rest of their life. Now, Dave Ramsey is probably going insane by me just saying that. Other financial advisors are going insane. They believe that you should buy your car, and you should, you may have a payment for a little while, but the whole point is to get rid of the car payment so that you do not have that expense anymore, so that you can use that expense to go to your nest egg, to build up your investment, build up your savings so you can retire. Okay. But some people have calculated and budgeted their lease payment, their car payment for the rest of their life, and have put that into the calculation for their retirement. So we're going to put a car payment here because so many people have car payment, and we're trying to overestimate. You can also, have a paid off car, and then you won't have to worry about this by the time you retire. But let's go ahead, put a car payment in there of $500. Okay. What else? What else are the things that we pay for? Let's go cell phone. Right, we got to talk to people. Cell phone, we're going to put that at $150. So much cost that goes into a home. So we're going to just call it all utilities. That's going utilities, right? That's going to be all of your lights, gas, water, sewer, and sanitation. Depending on where you live, you have some combination of all of those five. Let's go ahead and put that at $750. Okay, so you got utilities that you have to pay every month. Um, ah, I said utilities. I'm going to put this one a little bit different, but the internet. Maybe one day the internet will become free for us, but but today is not that day. Um, let's put that at $200. So you need internet. Let's go insurance, right? You gotta have insurance. So how do we want to think about it? Is this health insurance? Is this car insurance? Um, is this life insurance? Okay, I'm going to uh, let's call it life and health insurance, right? I'm gonna combine those costs, life and health insurance. You should have both of those. And health insurance gets very expensive and the older you get, for obvious reasons. So let's put that at $1,000. I don't know, you might not think that's a good estimate, but let's put that at $1,000 a month. That comes out to about $12,000 a year. I don't know. It sounds okay. So what else? What else can we think about that we're going to need to pay? So you got oh, you want to go on vacation. I should probably add something. Let's add to the car, because it's not only the car payment but also gas. Let's make that 750. I don't know. Maybe we're all driving electric cars by that time. You want to go on vacation? I don't know. I want to go on vacation, so maybe this is me. I don't know if this exactly fits me, but this is kind of the abstract me. So we have um, vacation, right? You want to go on vacation. So let's say you're going to spend $6,000 a year on vacation, let's so that will be $500 a month, right? Okay, we got it. We're gonna put $500 a month aside so that one day in a year or twice during the year we're gonna go on vacation. Okay, so we have vacation. We gotta eat, right? Right, food. Um, Man, inflation is killing us with food. So I don't know. Let me say, let's say, how much is $25 a day? $25 a day. Let's just make it I should be able to do that math. Let's make it a little rounder. Let's say $30 a day. Um, 30 times 30, that's $900. Okay. So between um, groceries and eating out $30 a day, I'm just making an estimate. There's your food budget. Okay, what else do we want to do in retirement? Entertainment, right? So right, we're not always going on vacation, but there's other things we want to do just for leisure, right? And we got a lot of time on our we're retired, so we got a lot of time on our hands. What do we want to do? Let's put a man. I don't know. I want you to have a good retirement. Okay, so we're gonna say another $1,000 for entertainment. What else do we want to do? Remember, the whole purpose here is to overestimate. Think about the most comfortable retirement you want to have, and what does that look like? So we got rent, we got car, we got cell phone, utilities. What am I paying now that I'm probably going to be paying in the future? Um, do you have family members? Do you have kids? Do you plan on having kids? They often. So let's just call this. I don't know. Let's discretion. I don't know. They also will need help. Sometimes they're going to come to you, especially if you have a successful retired family member. Sometimes those family members are uh asked for look to for assistance. Okay, so if you have kids, trust me, they're gonna want assistance. You try to raise them to um be self-sufficient, but you never know. You may want to help them anyway. So let's just say you to put aside $500 a month, um, discretionary to help others. Maybe to donate to your local church or something. I didn't even think about that. Let's just call that charity. You may want to give, let's say, $300 a month in charity. Okay. I don't know if I've done a good job here. You can look and try to, dive further into the details. What am I missing? Put that down in the comments. Now that I'm stopping, we're going to get into the final calculations here. Go ahead and go ahead and subscribe if this is helping you. I appreciate every like and subscription. Okay, so let's total all of this up, and that's going to give us what we need monthly. Is going to be equal to the sum of all of these guys. Huh? There you have $9,050 in retirement. Okay, maybe you think I've done a good job. Maybe you don't. Maybe there's plenty other things that you could think of that you could put into here. But this gives an idea of $9,050, what it might cost you to live into retirement. And let's think about it. The Yahoo article, which I'll link to in the description, told us that we were going to need somewhere from 120 to 150, and this is not far off. So maybe I'm missing a few things. Maybe I'm not accounting much for inflation, but let's use our numbers here. So yearly, that's easy to calculate. We're going to need that number times 12. That's 108,000, maybe 109,000 per year. What do you think? How does that make you feel in retirement? If you did not have to work at all and you were able to have an investment large enough that would give you 108, 109,000 per year, how would you feel in retirement? Feel you might need a little bit more. Or some of you might feel, hey man, I'm set. So that's good. Now, how do we go from here to what we're going to need in our investment portfolio? That could be stocks and bonds in your 401k, stocks and bonds in your IRA. That can be rental property, but rental property sometimes comes with a cost, so you got to calculate that too. You got mortgage costs, insurance costs, those kind of things, taxes, so you got to calculate that too. But that could be real estate, and it could be any business interest that you might have as well, whether you're invested into a business, that friends or family may have a successful business that you invest in, or you're running a business yourself. But you have to also remember, what do you want to run that business in retirement? Maybe you look at the equity in the business as part of your nest egg, because you know that you are going to sell the business um, after you retire, when you're ready to retire. Okay, so all of these are the things that you need to consider that will help dial in the details. But let's just say, from our investment portfolio, how big of an investment and savings nest egg do we need to get $108,000 here, $109,000 for the year? Okay, so let's call it the nest egg here, and we do a simple calculation where we take our yearly and multiply it by 25. There you have it, 2,715,000 for our little example here. 2,715,000. Why did we use 25? Because we want to live off of 4% of our nest egg. That 4% number is half of what the historical average of the stock market has been. So the historical average of the stock market is about 8%, give or take, depending on who you ask. But you want to live off of 4%. This means that your nest egg will, on average, continue to grow, even though you're living off of 4% of the interest. Okay, so 4% will go to the growth of your nest egg, your investment portfolio, and then you take home 4% for your living expenses. With this kind of formula, if you use that kind of strategy where you only live off a portion of the interest of your portfolio, you will have money all the way through retirement. It's just mathematically a truth, mathematically verifiable, that you only live off a portion of your interest. Your nest egg will always be there, and you will have a legacy to leave to your friends and family members, your children. Okay, so that's our number here in our little example, 2.7 million. Not very far from what Yahoo was saying, because you may want to have six figures of income when you retire. Maybe some of you are thinking like, well, I don't make six figures now. I probably, depending on what career path I'm on, I'll probably never make six figures. So maybe I don't need six figures in retirement. It's all about how you want to live. What do you think your lifestyle will be in retirement? But just based on our example here, and remember, we tried to overestimate, so hopefully this is a conservative example, not very far from what Yahoo got. Yes, 2.7 million. That's what you need to have in your investment portfolio if you want to live off of 4% of interest of that nest egg to get $109,000. I hope that helped you. Let me know down in the comments what you think. Some of you might think, Rob, you're an idiot. This is not a good way to calculate. Let me know down in the comments. Go ahead and like and subscribe. I'm coming to you live because I don't have time every Monday through Friday at 5:30 a.m. on the West Coast. Again, remember to subscribe. I'm going upstairs to take care of my family. I hope you do the same. I will talk to you